So it's like, I just remember, I forgot, like, I don't know if it was Anthony Bourdain, but it was somebody, I was on the TV, like when they were doing sound check, and I just started cracking up.
Cool. We're just going to like jump in and keep it casual.
Yeah.
One thing that I didn't realize fully, but this is kind of a homecoming for you in a sense. Like
absolutely.
You grew up or spent a lot of time in San Antonio.
Yeah, I like to say that I grew up here. My mom, I was born in the East Coast. I was born in Trenton, New Jersey, and the first place we ever moved together was Texas. I think it was Killeen first, and then my mom fell in love with San Antonio, and that's always kind of been an anchor. I stayed. I went to high school. I went to middle school and high school here, and kind of the formative years. So that has been really fun. And I always say that I'm a Texan, even though I've lived in New York for 20 years. Right. I still claim Texas as my home. And there's something just magical and special about it in a way that will never leave me.
Right. Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
I know we're in Austin, but you're...
it feels good to me. I spent a lot of time here.
Yeah.
On 6th Street during Halloween. Yeah.
Before getting into. And we'll double click into your incredible career and everything that you've done and are doing now. But what specifically got you interested? Like what scratched that itch and sort of put you on to this could be something that I want to pursue, learn more of, get into a kitchen? No,
I think that at the beginning it was, I had worked in restaurants as a waiter most of my life up until that point. Yeah. I think my first job was at McDonald's by SeaWorld. It was watching old episodes of Frasier. I think one of the first episodes, Niles comes over and he says, fancy a scotch? Would you like a scotch? He says, oh, no, that feels a little too heavy. And then Frasier says, well, I'll have sherry. He goes, that's it. Right? So that was an inspiration from all of it. And then, this is my mom's like, you're 27 years old and you're acting like a 65-year-old white man. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was like, no, I'm watching this show. And for the first time, I would have to say that show gave me the courage to walk into a wine shop for the first time in my life. And then, months later, I catch the wine bug. Right? Then it's like, wow, like it's history, it's biology, it's chemistry, it's all of these things. And I'd have to say, wine has given me a lot of great things in my life.
I love... obviously getting to know you, following your content, your businesses, plural now at this point, for quite some time. You're talking wine and that joy of sharing and educating, getting to know who you're around, the community that you're in. That's obviously like a foundation to Huckberry, right? We're just selling a different product. We're curating cool products and brands, but in the end, we're thinking about how's this relevant to you? So I went ahead. I know this is kind of skipping a few steps. This is getting pretty aggressive on the second date.
Okay, all right.
But I went shopping for you.
Okay.
And I'm going to unpack and walk through, and I want your real-time reactions. I'm going to share some of my favorite things on Huckberry that I think would be relevant to you.
I like that.
Because you have done so much in sharing what you think is cool and relevant to us.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm game.
So you ready?
I'm game.
And you're a stylish guy, so like the pressure, I'm sweating a little bit.
Some days I feel stylish, some days I don't. But yeah, you're right.
You just got style. It's not just what you wear, it's how you carry yourself. But you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Do you mind? This is the beauty of this. This is a functional room. Right. Can you pass me a knife? Yep. Whichever one you gravitate. Yeah, that's a good one. James Brand, Oregon. Okay. So, first.
All right.
I've seen you in a variety of videos, like rocking a Chore coat. So I know you got probably a collection, or at least a couple go-to Chore coats. But I was like, you know what? I'm not going to give you something that I think you might already own. So I'm going to give you something, an interpretation of a Chore coat that I'm really excited about.
All right.
Something you can switch it up when you're not feeling that for whatever reason. This is a boiled wool Chore coat from Flint and Tinder. So when I was originally presented this, I was like, boiled wool, that sounds heavy. That sounds hot. Feel this.
First off, I'm digging the color.
Okay.
I like kind of like this, like what is like a tunic kind of style. But more importantly, the texture and the feel. It feels very soft. Yeah. It feels very warm. It feels, it feels somewhat cozy. What you would probably see me wear this in, I would probably have some shorts on, I would throw it on, and I would run to go get some coffee with some wool, some velvet loafers or some shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it would just be a piece in that thing. Like might see me like running to go do something. Yeah. And more, it's like understated things that aren't like there's no logo on it. Right. It just feels, you look at it and you're like, wow, it just looks of quality already. Like if you're just looking at, stitching and you know what I mean? Just already like,
all right.
Yeah. No, okay. I'm feeling this.
All right. Next one. Thinking about the first time that we chatted, you were actually in your home in Vermont.
Correct.
So that's your escape from the city, I'm guessing.
Yeah. I think pandemic cooked in. Yeah. And that little bit of that green feel. You know, we have a backyard in New York. That's kind of rare, but like just the being in a green space is been really fun for us.
Yeah, I bet. And we bonded over, and I will always find a reason to make a connection to my origins of Maine, a fellow New Englander.
Yeah. All right.
So, and you know, like, not to sound cliche, but if you're in New England, you have to have a flannel. Especially, I mean, it's leaf peeping season coming up, right? It's fall. Totally. We have a new fun one, and it's actually called the cabin flannel. So it's like a thicker overshirt with a looser weave than a traditional like chamois. I
see that, yeah. I can see that now.
So this thing feels like a blanket. The color, I love this color. I envisioned you, the cabin in Vermont.
Yeah, no, this fits. This fits. And then in the house, it's all heated by wood stoves. Yeah. So like that kind of still that thing till the wood stove gets to the right temperature.
Yeah.
When I look at this already, it should smell of smoke.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of like, I think at the beginning, like you feel like, oh man, I don't want to have it smell like that, but that's a comforting smell, and this is what I feel.
Maybe we should include a little spray.
Yeah.
People want to earn their patina, but if you
for
just
the hipsters in Brooklyn where I live, maybe that. But yeah, like but burning the wood, this feels like that. Like I said,
you can probably, these pockets are pretty hardy too. You could probably get a bottle of wine.
Yeah. Or a
bottle of whiskey,
or a flask,
definitely.
You know, that's a little under the radar.
We should call that the flask box.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
We're making some headway here. This is
two for two.
2 for 2, brother. Yeah. Seriously.
All right.
Seriously.
All right. I'm going to be watching your videos, and I expect to see this.
You already know. Okay. You already know.
I got some intel, of course. We share some mutual friends. I heard you like slip-on shoes, which is another.
Yeah, that is a thing.
I hate tying my shoes for whatever reason. So if it's a slip-on, I'm sold. We got this great new pair, and I just got these myself. This is a Rhodes slip-on.
Okay.
I'm going to do the grand reveal.
All right.
So, like, a more elevated Birkenstock, for lack of a better term. Like, you can dress this thing up, but foundationally, it is incredibly comfortable. Again, slide your foot in, but it's got this cork footbed.
Oh yeah, that.
It's got this wedge sole. I wouldn't call this workwear inspired, but this isn't like a dressy leather sole. Got a little tread. Might be a little ice on the water.
This is more my style here. This fits in a way. Like if I'm not wearing tennis shoes or anything like that, it's like just a slip on. Yeah, and I have to say, like, I would like. These would be black.
You want black?
No. They would just be black just from me wearing them, the scuffing and all that, right? But and I would probably end up wearing them in some place that I probably shouldn't be. But other than that,
all right,
those look great.
These I've been grabbing a little bit more. I still wear them casually, but if I need to go out, like nothing's dressy here in Austin.
Correct.
But if I need to put on like a nicer pair of pants and like a button down, I put these on because they can.
Yeah, it looks like they could dress that up a little bit. Yeah. Those look great. All right, that's cool. Okay. That's cool. All right. I feel like I need to hate something.
I know.
Soon.
I got to pick something. Well, maybe not hate, but I got some surprise. I got some surprises in here. I'm gonna save the best for last.
Okay. All right.
You and I were just talking, and you were just in London. You told me while you were over there, they outfitted you in a London brand. That has taken inspiration and works in the food industry, and then bringing some of that to guys like us that want to dress that way. And that service works.
Oh,
so
man.
This maybe it's a miss in that you already have a bunch of this from being outfitted, but these just hit the site, and I love these. Just like slip-on shoes. I guess I'm lazy. I love drawstrings. Like, if I don't have to put on a belt and I don't have to tie my shoes,
oh my God,
I'm a happy man in the morning.
I actually have a green pair of these.
Okay.
Ready? So part of I was there for an award, and then I was there for a photo shoot for a magazine, and got styled. And this thing is the first time I had heard of the brand. And, kind of was like cool. Trying on. I had like a green pair. Like I'm putting them on. I'm like, wow, these are kind of great. And so I was leaving London the next day. I wore them on the plane.
All right.
And then I wore them 2 more days after I got back to New York. There's something special about it, right? It feels a little, the fit feels different. Like, and it's so different because of when you originally think of chef wear, it's like that houndstooth, black and white pattern, right? That was didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
And this feels like you could wear this to work
totally,
and then go to the bar afterwards and feel comfortable and not feel like you're in your work clothes, so to speak. Absolutely. Yeah. This is so good.
Obviously, we're talking a lot about wine, but also you've got a wonderful whiskey brand. Rye and Sons.
Absolutely. Yeah, Rye and Sons. We started in 2020.
An incredible label.
Thank you. Yeah,
had lots of fun. Great whiskey. I'm excited to open a couple bottles while you're here. Coming back to that New England connection, I got you whiskey glasses with the tallest mountain in New England. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Mount Washington. With so a little topographic conversation starter. Obviously, doesn't quite do the justice in this scale, but it's a very cool conversation starter when you're pouring a drink, and you can look at the bottom and see, obviously, Mount Washington.
So my brother-in-law turned me on to these glasses.
All right.
Christmas Eve, wrapping gifts, everybody's asleep and, drinking whiskey. And like, these are the glasses. And he was the one saying, oh no, it's actually the terrain of the mountain. And so I've had lots of experience with drinking out of these, but I have to say, I do not own any.
Each one of them has different famous mountains across the country and across the world. And it's obviously, you can tell the customers that are buying them and the feedback that we get. People buy them because there's a connection to that place. And so again, coming back to like when I'm at home, drinking a whiskey in Maine on like a cold winter's day. I love having it be Mount Washington. And even when I'm home here in Austin, it's 98 degrees in the middle of November. Take a little sip and I think about that.
No, it's and also it feels like to me, it's like, you're into the outdoors, the mountains are fascinated by that and the nature outside, but like also it feels like an accomplishment, like, oh, I'm drinking this thing and I'm at the top of the mountain.
Yeah. Obviously coming back to wine, a lot of amazing regions, a lot of places that are very synonymous with some of the best wines in the world.
Correct.
What's your thoughts on Italian wines?
I love Italian wines. Okay. I feel like Italian wines are some of the best white wines, undervalued, best value white wines come from Italy.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a great segue. And I see that you don't have a watch on right now.
Okay.
So we got you a watch.
Okay.
And this watch is actually made in Italy. It's a really cool brand that we've been working with over the last couple of years called UNIMATIC.
Okay.
Very simple but elegant. It's understated. How did you describe the Italian wines? Like, not underappreciated, but like under the radar in a sense.
Yeah, under the radar, deliver the most value.
Deliver the most value. Yeah. I mean, these watches, and I've got a couple of them, deliver some of the most value. I'm not like a huge watch guy, but I know watches pretty well. This watch is under $500, made in Italy. Wow. Super clean. UNIMATIC is the brand.
It's got some weight. So both my parents were officers in the military, right? So so I'm familiar with this.
Yep.
My father used to be, Green Beret, Special Forces. So this kind of material and this look feels like something I know, and that's been a familiar part of my life.
Okay.
So like it feels like durability, like quality, like. When you say something's military grade, right? You know what I mean? It's like, This is what this feels like. I wouldn't say that I'm a watch guy, but I probably have 30 of them, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
You're a watch guy.
Yeah, but
you're a watch guy in denial.
But not. So, and I'd have to say that also came from working in the restaurant. As part of the milestone gifts from Thomas Keller, you would get a watch, and so that was something interesting and telling. And thank you. This is actually all kind of spot on and feels right to me. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've been pretty good so far. Save. I would say the best for last.
Okay.
This one. Okay. Is something I didn't even know we sold. You have a dog.
I do.
A golden retriever.
I do. Her name is Gloria.
Gloria. She had a first birthday in the last year or two. This is my Instagram stalking.
Yeah. No. So yeah, she had a birthday, and they had made her a cake, a pet friendly cake.
We made a cake.
Yeah, we made a cake.
Did anyone make you golden retriever boxers? There might even be a French bulldog on here, but very prominently throughout are golden retrievers. So
yeah, all I can think about is like, who let the dogs out?
Right.
Now this is so funny. Like, this is probably something I would wear, right? Like just like underneath, like it's like, so we always have pieces underneath that like where you get to be fun and quirky, especially coming from a corporate world.
I got really excited. I'm glad someone steals it. That's also a compliment.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But this is one you walk. You don't tell anyone that you have it, and then one morning you walk into the kitchen for breakfast and you're wearing these.
And they're like, wow. Yeah, my mother were like, are those dogs on there? Yeah. And Gloria. Man. Shout out Gloria.
Shout out Gloria. All right. Well, that was, I don't know, I think 6 for 6. I mean, batting 1,000. Not that it was easy, but it was like, all right, like, I feel like I know Andre. Yeah. Not just because watch your videos and getting to know you a little bit outside of Huckberry, but it was fun for me to do. And I'm glad that
that's cool. You know, I've always heard this saying about when you're shopping for a gift, and it sounds selfish in some ways, but knowing the people you know, you should actually get something that makes you excited, right? Like, I would be buying this for myself, right? But in that realm, and I know that this person would like that. Yeah. And I think that carries through over in your brand and who you are. Like the fact that you were excited about shopping for me and those things, how could you not be excited about somebody shopping for you?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm glad that we could do it. Well, I think the most fitting thing to do now, I've referenced this a few times, and I think we've passed the early morning hours and we're in early afternoon. Rye and Sons, quick, give us a quick plug to Rye and Sons.
So Rye and Sons is a whiskey, rye whiskey made from Kentucky. This is something that's been really fun for me in a way of like kind of back to my roots on what started it all, right? Like drinking and consuming alcohol was this kind of thing.
If you don't mind, I'm going to no better way.
Cheers, man.
Cheers.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah, man.
Oh, that's good. I haven't had a taste yet. I was waiting to sit here with you hear it firsthand. It tastes even better hearing it all directly from your mouth. So thanks for sharing it with it. Excited to put some damage to this bottle in the next couple days together.
No, it's just fun. Yeah. By. You know how it is as an entrepreneur, you know, breathing life into something. There's something about that feeling, something that you only have in your mind. And then you walk into the thing that you built with your team. You know, there's a little something about that, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you can't get that feeling anywhere else, and like now it's on the lips of other people. Right? It's different. It hits different when they say it. Yeah, that's cool.
Said. All right.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Andre. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's a wrap.
Here we go.
Yeah, let's just because the camera turns off doesn't mean we stop drinking.
No, of course
that wasn't for show.